a
You know what that
hostage.
means, don't you?
Well-
Do I have to define it for you? Look, all
No, I know
hell
you're not
will
gonna
break out.
telegraph
If
what-
those hostages aren't back, I don't want to hurt your negotiation. If they're not back by the time I get into office, all hell will break out in the Middle East.
Can you elaborate?
And it will not be good for Hamas, and it will not be good, frankly, for anyone. All hell will break out. I don't have to say anymore, but that's what it is. And they should have given them back a long time. They should have never taken them. But I tell this, I don't want to hurt the negotiation. If the deal isn't done before I take office, which is now going to be 2 weeks, all hell will break out in the Middle East. Okay?
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you. You've
President.
done a great job.
Thank you.
Can you tell us what you said to Prime Minister Netanyahu in your call on Saturday?
Yeah.
And have you spoken to President Putin since your election?
Well, I'm not going to comment on the Putin question, but I will comment on Bibi. We had a very good talk. We discussed what is going to happen, and I'll be very available on January 20th, and we'll see. As you know, I gave warning that if these hostages aren't back home by that date, all hell's going to break out, and very strong.
Netanyahu about a ceasefire deal. You said if they don't have one by the time you take office, there will be hell today.
We're going to see what happens.
Have you spoken to President? Do you have too much
They better let the hostages come back soon.
Coming at you guys with a little car video. Had a long drive, man, to do a job today. So, well, it's not long. It's like an hour. So, but I was watching a video last night. I'm always watching something, as you already know, and so I was watching watching the news, and I saw Donald Trump, and making different statements. And he made a statement. He said, "Yeah, if these people, if they don't release the Israeli hostages by the time I'm in office on January the 20th, the very next day, I'm going to unleash holy hell on the Middle East. Blah, blah, blah." And I'm trying to figure out if this guy, I don't think these people give a fuck about him. I mean, at a certain level, they know that, obviously these people cause a lot of trouble for them in the Middle East, I mean, they cause a lot of trouble everywhere they go, historically, I mean, if you read, if you can read, or, you breathing and you're coherent, you always know when they show up, generally you're gonna lose like your oil, your gas, your land, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, obviously, saying they cause trouble for people when they show up, 1948 or 1848 doesn't really make a difference. So, but anyway, I digress. It's definitely a problem in Lebanon, Syria, Palestine, Libya, on and on, Iraq, and Iran, of course. I think they have a nuke. They have nuclear weapons. I don't think they're saying anything. And so, he's threatening to bomb, all these people or whatever. And then they say, well, Iran is the head of the snake. And like Iran, the Iranians said, listen, we don't tell people what to do. You do whatever the fuck you want to do. He said, people fight and, resist or, because that's what they want. We don't tell them to do it. If that's how they feel, then whatever. But we have allies just like you do. And we're not going to not help them because you don't want us to. But we don't tell them what to do. If they want to buy some, I guess they want to, buy weapons or whatever, or we want to get them money and shit, we do. Whatever we feel is the right thing or whatever, we do it. Just like you do it. That doesn't make us any worse than you when you give weapons and money to Israel to kill 200,000 children. And that's just a current example. So, yeah, so he's threatening to, I'm gonna unleash holy hell on the Middle East if these people don't release those hostages and, you know, stand down or whatever. I guess he's talking about, you know, Gaza and Palestine. And I mean, they already fucking these people up. I mean, I don't know, have you seen a picture of, you know, Palestine? What's left of Palestine lately? I mean, it's apocalyptic. There's nothing left. They bombing refugees on top of the rubble that they've already bombed. That's all that's going on. There's nothing left to bomb. And because the militants have built tunnels, you know, the government, and they built an elaborate tunnel system where they stored lots and lots of weapons over the, you know, past 20 years. They can still continue to fight. And because of that, they're just bombing the population. They're taking it out, you know, they're doing a collective punishment campaign. And really, which is pure terrorism, right? Pure satanic terrorism. Bombing people on top of the rubble where they've already been bombing, there's already bodies. And so he's threatening to accelerate things by, I guess, attacking Iran. We're going to cut off the head of the snake and we're going to attack Iran. So they're threatening to, you know, they're going to attack Iran and then further launch, I guess, you know, more pressure, more attacks on the so-called axis of evil, as they say, right? And I mean, that can only make the whole situation in the entire world get worse. I mean, so he has to, I mean, I don't know. To me, Trump's bluffing. Like, attacking Iran is just like them shooting themselves in the foot. Because if you attack Iran, you're gonna collapse the world markets. Because the Iranians they have nothing to lose at that point, and they will close the Straits of Hormuz and cut off, you know, and restrict oil and shipping. You know what I mean? So it's gonna spike inflation. It's gonna spike the cost of living. It's gonna spike you know, gasoline prices for everybody. Not to mention, they're probably going to strike all of the U.S. facilities in the Middle East, right? So you're gonna get tens of thousands of dead soldiers, U.S. soldiers, you know, thousands of dead U.S. soldiers within weeks. Because they're gonna launch extensive strikes, missile strikes all over the fucking place. So, and it's gonna crash crypto. Let's be clear, if they start an all-out war, cryptocurrency is gonna, that's why cryptocurrency is crashing. Gold and silver spike, cryptocurrency and the stock market crashing. Because Trump is saying he's going to launch strikes, you know, and turn up the heat in Israel, Palestine, Iran, etc. So that's, you know, that's what it is what it is, right? So it's going to create, all hell's going to break loose. Come on, dumbass. What the fuck you doing? Yeah, because you hit my car, I got insurance. So anyway, goddamn motherfucker almost hit my car. So anyway, so look at this motherfucker. Look at this asshole, total asshole, right? Good thing, I think you can see him on video. So he just whipping his truck back and forth, almost hit my car. Total, look at this motherfucker. Then he just cut somebody else off. Dude, total asshole. But anyway, so yeah, so it's going to be pretty bad if Trump, you know, turns up the heat. I mean, they already, Biden and the rest of them are letting them do whatever they want. I mean, they installed Al Qaeda and ISIS as the government. They destroyed the government of Syria and installed, Al Qaeda terrorists as the president of Syria and the government. So I mean, it's total madness already. You kill 200,000 people in Gaza and Palestine, and then you install ISIS and Al Qaeda as the government and destroy the government of Syria and install a bunch of terrorists in front of the whole world. And then he says, well, it's gonna be worse. Worse than that? Worse than killing 200,000 people, men, women, and children, and installing a bunch of head-chopping terrorists and destroying the government of Syria? You mean worse than that? What's going to be worse? We're going to turn up the heat. We're going to, do this. We're going to go all out. It's going to be a vicious attack. Boom, boom, boom. All this bullshit. Whatever, man. Now, I say this. You better hope he's bluffing. And he probably is. Probably won't do shit. I mean, he already doing... like I said, it's already horrible. They already created, and when I say they, you know what I mean when I say they. They've already created a horrible situation, right? All these fucking refugees everywhere, whether it's Indians or Arabs or whatever, Asians, whatever, right? Already created a refugee crisis all over the goddamn planet. And then they complain about it. Right? Then they start complaining. They start a bunch of wars all over the fucking planet, and then you get refugees everywhere, and then they start complaining. Well, these refugees, we got an immigration crisis. Yeah, no shit, Dick Tracy. That doesn't mean I want them here. Guy's bluffing. That's all I can say. You know what I mean? Like, people better pray to God he's bluffing, because if he's not bluffing, and he's stupid enough to do that, you better hope, the other part of that is, you better hope the Arabs and them Persians is way, 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 way weaker than you think they are. I mean, to me, a lot of them, they bitch. I would have, got at them by now. But, but it just shows the weakness, like these Arab, the Arab Union, the African Union. This shit is a bunch of bullshit, obviously. African Union, the Arab Union, these are a bunch of fuck niggas. Let's just be honest. A bunch of fuck niggas. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck about no Africans or Arabs. I'm gonna be honest with you. Or no coalition, right? None of them can stand up to Satan, and his army, obviously. So I don't give a fuck about them. And so it is what it is, but they are a lot weaker than you think they are, than people think they are. So, let's say they are a lot weaker than you think, and then he just, blows Iran, he just blows Iran to smithereens, as they say, right? And just totally shocking odds Iran, totally devastating the Palestinians, the Syrians, the Iraqis, they just go all out, just start bombing every fucking body. And nobody does anything. They better hope that's the outcome. Because if they decide to do anything, it's gonna be a fucking nightmare all over the world. It's gonna be a worldwide nightmare. Right? And they know that. So the question is there a motivation for them to basically set off, worldwide catastrophe? So it's like a game. I don't know, it's like a very sick game, right?